Bahutva Karnataka released its reports on the performance of BJP government when it comes to the education sector. And right now we have Abdul Subhan, who's an educationist, and we'll ask him like, how does he see about the overall education system under the BJP government? As an educationist, how do you see the overall transformation of education system in Karnataka under the BJP rule?
See, during last 3.5 years of Karnataka's the BJP administration, it has been actually one of the worst period when it comes to education, because we look at the report, annual status of education in the state. It has reduced by 50% when it comes to simple learning of the children from the grade 3rd, grade 5th, grade 6th. When it comes to number of teachers, the vacancies which are right now available, which is not filled, 57% of the vacancies are not filled. Institutions are running just by some guest teacher, because you will find them at a low cost, and they are not trained teachers. How do you expect the children to learn from those untrained teachers, those who are not qualified? You look at the basic infrastructure. Government has not focused on the infrastructure of the institution. 23% of the government schools does not have the very basic mandatory infrastructure which is required by the RTE. So how do we expect where is the conducive environment for the children to learn? For this government, BJP government, education was not the focus in the last 3.5 years.
So should we think somewhere the BJP government has actually weakened the government, education system in Karnataka?
It has, obviously. You look at every data, it has proven, because looking at 13,000 schools which have been merged with other schools, and the name of that strength is not enough. But what happened with respect to that? The children, those who goes to these schools, they usually go to the nearest possible school. When the school gets merged to some other school, what will that child will do? Because that school is already moved away from that locality. And that child who goes to that government school does not have that resources to go for, pay separately for the transportation, avail that transfer facility and go to the different vicinity. It's not possible. Likewise, there are many decisions which have been taken as hampered the students' future and has affected the education of the students.
So, how do you see the communalization of education system in Karnataka? Especially, we have witnessed what all happened last year.
See, we have seen even though all the nutritionists, all the child activists, everybody, the food commission, everybody was against the implementation of that Sattvic food system, where they wanted to remove egg and all that. But though it was against, but they did it. They wanted to bring that vegetarian culture, and they did it for the children against all the expert opinion. You look at the syllabus in the name of rationalization of syllabus. They have removed. When it comes to Karnataka, Basavanna has played a very important role. His movement has changed the course of Karnataka. His movement was removed just because Basavanna was against that very strict Vedic practices. Since it doesn't suit to the Hindutva ideology, they have removed it. Likewise, they have tried to saffronize, and they have done a lot of other things, including hijab. Look at the hijab. It was nothing but bringing communalism to the classroom, bringing those divisive agenda to the classroom. That was the worst thing which can ever happen. Girl children were just denied of education for a simple reason that they chose to wear a hijab on their head.
So how do you see this NEP, National Education Policy?
In India, when the NEP was announced, Karnataka became the very first state to get that additional bonus points in front of their those so-called leaders. That minister, hasty decision of without any application of mind, decided to implement NEP in Karnataka. It caused nothing but a chaos in the institutions. And what NEP did? Nothing but that whole agenda of distorting the history, where they have removed the contribution. There are so many great people who have contributed from 12th century and onwards. They have removed their movements. There are so many social activists, social reformers, those who have contributed in shaping the future of this country, that whatever the country has today is today, they have removed all those. Look at the Mughal kingdom. Entire history is distorted to in their fashion, to saffronize the entire academic model altogether. That is what as NEP has become, because they want to bring privatization, they want to bring this commercial aspect into the education. Look at in Karnataka, 6 new universities were announced, and Kannada University is at the verge of collapse because of no facility. There is no attention given by the government. Look at the VTU, such a premier institution, is facing challenges because the government has told them to manage on their own with the fees and everything. How will an institution run when the government is just not supporting? Because that is one of the major responsibility of the government, to impart the best quality education to its own people.
So as you mentioned, distortion of history, and we are seeing the history is getting deleted, and they're trying to create a history. So how impact will this have on the children?
See, this is the whole agenda, that they want to give a new narration of this history. But trust me, that is it will be a failed attempt, because in the past also we have seen those who have played with the history has gone into history. This will not be a successful thing. You will see the beginning starts with Karnataka. You will see the results on 13th May, where the failed BJP government will be ousted from the power in Karnataka.
So elections are almost approaching, another few days, as you mentioned. So as an educationist, what's a message? What should people think? We do have students also, first-time voters. So what's a message for them?
See, most important thing is, this country has to develop. If you want a country to develop, there has to be peace. There has to be a harmony. Where there is a violence, where there is a communal disharmony in the society, there will not be development. Investment will not come. Look at the jobs, the situation of infrastructure. Everywhere that there is a challenge. We are sitting at though the country is the youngest nation in the world with the highest young population, but at the very same time, this our human resource is also a challenge for this country. If we don't provide a job-oriented growth, this is what we are seeing is a jobless growth. Unless a better government who manages the entire thing in the interest of this young generation, we will not see a better country. For in the interest of that future of each child, each youngster who's completing his graduation, who's coming out of his education and getting into the industry, for your own self, for your own better future, you have to look forward for a new narrative, a new system where an inclusive, that has been the India which we have seen in past, which welcomes everybody, which is nothing but the embodiment of the tolerance and a harmony, and that will give a better environment for the investment and the development. And the first time voters especially, you have to come out in large number. Voting day is not a holiday. This is one of the most important civic responsibility, which is you have to give your shahadat. You have to come and vote, give your evidence that you believe in this party, you believe in this candidate, and he is going to represent you. Otherwise, later on crying about the situation it will be a futile exercise, will not serve your purpose. You have to come out and vote in large number. That is the only message which I want to give.
So thank you very much for talking to Delhi Salar. Well, Mr. Abdul Subhan, who's an educationist, who just now mentioned about the importance of voting. As he mentioned, if we need peace, we need to choose good leaders. To choose good leaders, it is we who are supposed to come out and vote. And as he mentioned, do not take this as a holiday day. Come out, vote. Abu Bakr Siddiq for Delhi Salar.